بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم. We received a question regarding the isti'adha, which is seeking refuge with Allah from the accursed shaitan, pronounced أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Now, we can easily just translate it and say yes, no, and check that off and check that box off, making it haram, makruh, halal, recommended. But let's go into some detail and benefit from the classical texts like the Tafsir of Imam Razi and Imam Al-Qurtubi, because they look at the ishtiqaq, or where the word is derived from, the legal rulings associated with the word, and so forth and so on. And we will benefit much more if we just look briefly at what they have said broadly. So the first thing is that when we talk about the isti'adha, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, then it has 5 arkan. The arkan al-isti'adha, like we have the arkan of Islam and the arkan of Iman, where the arkan of Islam is basically to utter your shahada and to perform the salah, to give your zakah, number 3, to fast in Ramadan, and 5thly, to perform the hajj if you are able to. The arkan of Iman are amantu billahi, to believe in Allah and His angels, wa kutubihi, His books, wa rusulihi, the messengers, wal yawmil akhir, the last day, and the qadr, the good and the bad of it, is to accept that all that comes from Allah. We have here arkanul isti'adha, the pillars of the isti'adha, and this will benefit you greatly. And for those who love language and love the details of the basics, you will find this a joy to have these basic details. Number 1, we have the isti'adha itself, seeking refuge with Allah. And that is, that's the first point. The isti'adha is seeking refuge. Number 2, we have the seeker of refuge called the musta'adh. The musta'id. The musta'id is the seeker of refuge. Number 3, we have the giver of refuge, who is referred to as the musta'adh bihi. So firstly, we have the isti'adha, seeking refuge. Then we have the seeker of seeking refuge, that is the musta'id. And then we have the giver of refuge, the musta'adh bihi. Then we have the one from whom refuge is sought, and that we call the musta'adh minhu. The musta'adh minhu. And the 5th pillar of the isti'adha is the purpose or the maqsood of seeking refuge. So in summary, the 5 pillars of the isti'adha are as follows. The isti'adha, seeking refuge. Number 2, the seeker of the seeker is the musta'id, the giver of refuge, the musta'adh bih or musta'adh bihi. And then lastly, the one from whom refuge is sought, the musta'adh minhu. And then we have the purpose of seeking refuge. And this is basically what is discussed when talking about a particular word. When it comes to tafsir, and here we can appreciate so much the details our classical and old ulama went through when presenting their works to the public. So this is not what you ordinarily find in a book that you might just pick up from in a bookshop, which is designed for the awam, the general person. Here we are trying to get maximum benefit by just looking at what the old and classical texts have embedded within it, and inshallah this will be of great benefit to all of us.